My name is Samuel Delaney, and my friends all call me Chip. Uh, I first, I think, probably walked into the avatar of Moonstone, Robin's books, when it was in the same location as it is here, but probably almost 10, if not 11 or 12 years ago. And it was amazing for two reasons. One, it had, well, actually three. It had the within walking distance, and Philadelphia is a at least Center City is a place where you walk everywhere. But it had the best selection of books on Black history and Black culture that I had seen in a long, long time. It also had the best selection of books on leftist and Marxist topics that I had seen in a long, long time. I mean, if there was any title you wanted by Du Bois, not just Soul of Black Folks, but anything from the Philadelphia Negro to the book on Harper's Ferry, the John Brown biography, so you name it, you could get it here. And that was really quite wonderful. And then also, when you walked into the back of the store, it had the best selection of contemporary poetry that you could find anywhere. And the fact that both of these were under the same roof, what made it just an extraordinary place for anyone who liked to read, and who liked to read in any of those three subjects, and I do. Plus, it had a very, very good selection of just general fiction and general nonfiction as well. So it was a wonderful place, and there it was, right in the middle of 13th Street, just above Sampson Street, which is where we are today. And this eventually, Robin's books. I think I got a little older, and Larry Robbins got a little older. This is one of those invariable things that happens. And eventually, I think Larry got a little tired of dealing with the first floor and some of the walk-in confusion that used to walk in regularly. And so this became Moonstone, the Moonstone Art Center, and as it's been for what, 3 years now? Is it now? I'm actually right about that. But it still supports all of those areas that it supported before, and again, and for that reason, it's just still a very, very important place culturally, very, very important place, intellectual node. I'm glad it's here, and I think all of you should be very, very glad that it's still here as well. I keep thinking. I think about the poetry, particularly. What is it? William Carlos Williams said not a long time ago now, I guess it is, that men die every day for lack of what poetry gives them, and I think it's true, and it's a necessary thing. When one goes without poetry for a long time, when one goes without what poetry can give us, it's easy to find one's inner, I don't know, one's spirit, which is not a word I like to use, but one's inner self roughening, getting rough and calloused and chapped. Because you don't get a chance to work with the sensitivity that poetry gives you, and you can be. It's very easy to be less happy in the world because of that. But because there are places that do sell poetry, that do have good selections of poetry, and people think about the books that they're actually going to have in the poetry racks, it's we all benefit from it. The whole culture, the whole society benefits from that sort of thing. And sometimes it's not given directly by the poem. Sometimes it's just given by people who have read the poem and who have exposed themselves to that sort of thing. And it spreads. And it's a very good thing that it does spread. So anything that pushes that spreading, that supports that, I am just all for it. And I'm very glad to see a place like the Moonstone Arts Center existing and doing its job for all sorts of people, for black people, for white people, for gay people, for straight people, for male people, for female people, for people who think of themselves as liking to read, for people who think of themselves as, well, I don't like to read all that much. I think we all benefit from it. We all benefit and become better people because of it. So that's just one of the things I have. That's, you know, the start of what could be hours and hours of praise and kudos to Larry, and for just keeping a bookstore, a place like this, alive and functioning. Because as long as it's alive and functioning, there's a little spot in a whole lot of people that feel safe and can be alive and functioning as well. And I'm real glad that it's here, and you should be too.